Parental discretion is advised.
What's up, guys? On this week's Wrestling Mayhem Show, we talk about total divas, underrated divas, the rise of Daniel Bryan, and the fall of Randy Orton's testicles. Stick around.
This edition of Wrestling Mayhem Show is brought to you by... Check out the insane Fans Bring the Weapons match at Unleashed 5 and the surprising championship tournament at the upcoming Resurrection DVD and digital download release. Find out more at rwalive.com.
Fleshlight. Head on over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com, look for that banner, and click on it. You'll know which one.
Want to have your business or podcast featured on the show? Contact us at info@sorgatronmedia.com. Subject line, advertising.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time.
Welcome to the Wrestling Mayhem Show number 380. We're recording this on July 30th, 2013, if you can believe it. Tonight, my friends, we have an amazing episode. Tonight is the show to end all shows. Jimmy Pardo will wish he was us after this episode, and he'll give us all his money. However, folks, as you know, the Mayhem is cast characters. I am one, DJ Lunchbox, that's correct. But no man can do this alone. Joining me this week, the man himself, Sorgatron.
Oh, hi, I'm Sorg. I'm here with all the equipment. Pushing buttons, turning knobs, making the Mayhem happen. Back to you, LB.
Sorg is the one who makes all things happen. The one who makes all the jokes happen is Bobby F. J-Town.
Hi, everybody. Contrary to popular belief, I was not the fan who attacked Randy Orton in South Africa. We'll get to more of that later.
However, in line with popular belief, you do love hitting people in the balls.
Especially Randy Orton.
And folks, joining us just with a wealth of knowledge. It's incredible how much this young man knows. Coming to you all the way from the deep south. That's right, Texas, USA. Eamon.
Thank you, Mr. Lunchbox. I appreciate being the most knowledgeable person in the South. That's a great compliment. Also, I'm wearing a t-shirt that is ironic now because I don't have a beard.
That's the Daniel Bryan one for audio listeners.
They don't mean it now.
Shaven and shorn.
I don't make them watch the video, Sorg.
Yeah, watch the video. Speaking of which, we do a lot of stuff here on the Wrestling Mayhem shows. We've already alluded to, we've got audio and we've got video, but you're thinking, I've found one of those, where on earth can I find the other? Well, let me tell you, you can find us each and every week, each and every day even, at our home, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, the first, last, and only website you'll be needing. You can also find us just about anywhere you can find fine podcasts in the world. Listen to us on your iPhone, your Android phone, your BlackBerry, your WebOS phones, your tin cans, with string tied between them. You can probably pick us up if you're in the right area. You can find us on Stitcher, Downcast, and yeah, even the generic iOS podcasting app. You can also find us on iTunes. Please, please, please take a second, leave us a comment. It makes us feel good, makes you feel good in control, and it lets iTunes know that we're still here. But what if you want to see us? Of course you want to see us. We live in the future. You want to see our video? Well, you can find that at WrestlingMayhemShow.blip.tv, one of the finest websites on the internet, after ours, of course. We can also be located at youtube.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show for just about all your Wrestling Mayhem Show needs. Now, all at once. Where can we find this all at once? I hear you screaming at me. Keep it down. I'm going to get to you. I'm going to answer your question right now. Mr. Lunchbox is here to answer your questions. Everything comes together, my friends, for the low, low marginal price of $1.99 for the Wrestling Mayhem Show app. Folks, not only do you get the audio, you also get the video. And on top of that, and this is really important, you get a little something called Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold, something we record exclusively for the app viewers/listeners. So go and check that out. It's really great stuff, I assure you. But what if that's not enough? There is one thing that we cannot contain in the apps, but boy, don't we have a website for that too. It is ProWrestlingTees.com. Head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com. Pick up a t-shirt from your very favorite wrestler, and then what do? You get one of ours. Get some Mayhem wear. It's absolutely fantastic. We've got new designs coming all the time. ProWrestlingTees.com. Go over, check it out. When you're done with that, it's going to be Tuesday. And what happens on Tuesday? Tuesday, you join us at live.sorgatronmedia.com. And if you really, really, really want to be famous for at least a week, you can email us at
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And speaking of which, speaking of that very exact thing, let's see what we got in the old mailbag.
Yeah, we got a few things in there, guys. So let's go check it out. We have, first of all,
We got a lady mail.
we got a lady mail. Eamon, would you like to handle a lady?
I will try to improve on the big words that I failed at last week. Let's do this.
You're a college student.
Hi, the Wrestling Mayhem Show. First things first. Please hold a moment of silence for the dearly departed Dragon, cut down in his prime by Oleg the Usurper. Just in case anyone is unaware, here are the grisly aftermath photos. And while this is the method by which Oleg completed this gruesome deed. So, yeah, just a quick moment of silence for the beloved Dragon. We can't have anything nice. Such a senseless loss of life. My condolences go out to his clutch of eggs that will grow up without a father. Second, Total Divas is the greatest television spectacle in the history of the universe, and I will hear no arguments otherwise. Vincent for the Hall of Fame, please. Also, what are the chances that next week's episode, Tango with Fandango, features Fandango being a bigger diva than any of the ladies? I'll say 100% chance. Alright, those are good odds. Those are betting odds.
Let the A's breathe.
And finally, my usual asinine and inane discussion question: what is going to be cooler? Daniel Bryan winning the WWE title by countering the Attitude Adjustment with a small package, or Daniel Bryan defending the WWE title from a Money in the Bank cash-in by Randall Keith Orton by countering an RKO with a small package? My pick is the RKO counter because Daniel Bryan is the best. Your exogenous friend, leg kick TKO.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So does anyone have an answer to the question?
I do, of course.
Yes, Bobby.
Daniel Bryan turning the RKO into a small package would be something I would love to see. Either scenario would be great, though.
I'd love to see that. Whoa, there's not me. I'd love to see that too. He's making the small package a finishing move lately, and I think that's pretty fun. So
It's really fits with his character. I love it. People forget that was an awesome era that he had in Ring of Honor when he was world champion. Was he would just beat people with like flash moves, especially when he was a heel. It was pretty amazing.
yeah. What do you think, LB?
I have to agree with Bobby. I can't even imagine how you would reverse an RKO into a small package, but man, I'd like to see it. And if anybody can pull it off, it's Daniel Bryan.
That's true. That's true. Mr. Small Package from Mad Mike in the chat. Option C, Vince will cost him the match.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll get the next one, guys. Inhabitants of the Mayhem Nation and WrestleFan. It is I, the one and only 02K of the WrestlingRevolution.com. I shall not talk about Raw because it was pre-taped, nor will I talk about TNA because it'll start another hate war. However, hear me out on this one. Check it out. Imagine. The Hardcore Titles 24/7 roll plus WWE app plus Twitter equals a real-time 24/7 roll that will have the WWE Universe trying to tune in every now and again, now and then for the latest title changes. People can tweet "Holy bonkers" to Jerry just saw the champ and is fighting him for the title. LOL Cena wins all together in caps, by the way.
Cena wins.
Why hasn't WWE capitalized on this? What do you think, guys? Yes, no, maybe? Later's Mayhem, 0, out. P.S. TNA releasing Jesse Sorensen equals shitty PR move, but good business move. Sent from my PC computer. No, I think that's an awesome idea.
Mm-hmm.
I say yes solely from the fact that I want to see Tajiri back.
I want to see Tajiri back too.
You sold us on the Tajiri clause.
We will trade you Yoshitatsu for Tajiri.
Yes, take that, Japan.
No, we can have them both.
Okay, we can have both.
Take that, Japan.
Yoshitatsu's going to be Antonio Inoki, and it's going to be amazing.
No, I like that though. That's a pretty cool idea. I mean, you could you'd have Twitter pictures, touts. Holy crap, this just happened, and it gets touted out or Vined or whatever you want to use. I think I watched Impact today.
No.
And I heard them say something about Vine, so I don't know. I had nothing else to watch, so I'm like, I was in here watching Total Divas on this site, so I might as well click on this too. It kind of drew me in. It's kind of like that rat hole when you're in YouTube. But it was not YouTube. But yeah, it's. I think it's a really cool idea.
I would love that.
Even if you do that, I mean, I don't know. Let's do it with the U.S. belt or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason not to at this point.
It's not doing anything.
Yeah, there's nothing going on.
And it just makes it interesting. Because, I mean, touts and all that are fine, but it's really a lot of basic, like, here's, us spewing WWE media telling you, hey, this is happening. Like, that's what the touts are. It's basically just them being PR people.
Yeah. But I could even see, like, a really smart indie fed doing this. Like a Chikara or Ring of Honor or I don't know, I'm losing it on maybe another one. I could see like an Anarchy doing it down in Texas for you Wrestle fan,
Maybe.
I could see maybe not so much Evolve. I don't know. House of Hardcore would be smart to do something like this, right? I just think that it could be done right. I mean, there's a lot of things. I think it goes back to what you wanted sort of tout to be in the beginning, Sorg, which was sort of an extension of like how to do promos and how, You mentioned before how you get bored by seeing these indie wrestling promos and they're 3 minutes long and they can't keep your attention. But if you do something, if you do a segment, if you do something that's evolving a storyline that is actually interesting and short and can keep your attention span, that's the whole point of it. And
the point of it is not for PR like dribble. It's the point to like get a quick something that will help advance the story.
And you know what? You notice though, we had a little bit of glimmer of that. At least to a point where Sheamus, all that stuff with Sheamus when he stole Del Rio's car all happened over tout. Again, they did show. I know you've grown at it, but it's kind of a similar concept, right? Really, kind of, it's precursor to what they do with the WWF now, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're seeing little glimmers of that, but I don't know. I think they kind of get over themselves with it, and it doesn't continue, and it doesn't evolve into something more.
Imagine if
go the Bobby.
Imagine if social media was a thing when the hardcore title was 24/7 title defense.
I know, right?
That would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to see like the touts of no, not touts, but you know what I mean. People telling us on Twitter that the Mean Street Posse attacked Crash at Pizza Planet or wherever they were. Some stuff like that would be cool.
Pizza Planet, and you could work. Oh man, you could work it in with the sponsors. You could have like I mean, Brodus Clay just took out Tajiri at the Kentucky Fried Chicken, or the Hardee's, or the Popeyes, or whatever the hell the sponsor is.
Wait. So why are you going so racist with this?
No, I'm thinking about people that have actually been sponsors. I know Hardee's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nobody else remembers the commercial-free Raw where they had a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken that sat out there all night.
Oh my God, Jared from Subway just showed up and hit him with a steel chair. And
yeah. Then you have something crazy like Jared from Subway is the hardcore champion, or I don't know, Ronald McDonald's is the hardcore champion. What the hell, Grimace?
Guys, you realize that's what would have happened if WCW went 5 more years.
This is all true. LB, let's get international.
Okie dokie. what it is, Mayhem Crew. It's me. It's fan of the motherfucking year at Big PPC. So, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena has money written all over it. My issue is, can the bearded Superman take down the Ultra Superman John Cena? We will see. I hope so. Picture below is for a place I frequent in the States. Wink, wink. I would like to think that it could have D-Bry with WWE title, huh? See the date, September 2nd. Let's hope Cena does not have belt. And there's a picture.
There's a picture. Hold on, bring it up here.
Russian, we like Tetris.
Yeah, so he sent a pictorial proof.
Picture.
There you go.
Okay. And will this ever happen? See below.
That's the next one.
Yes, it is the next one. It is a picture of the Big Show, saying that he will return, I think, next Monday on Raw. Yes, Big Show returns. Oh my God. Where is the world's largest athlete? Shouldn't be hard to find, right? Guess again. That was a fat joke, and I don't appreciate it. And now a poem thing combining my thoughts. Yeah, I know. Oh my God, it's going to be a poem. I'm so glad I didn't read this. So Shield, cut the music.
Oh.
Cut the damn music.
Our own music. There's going to be a rhythm to this.
Boom, boom.
So Shield is great. Ziggler is good. Wyatts are awesome. Miz to host. You know he should. Del Rio to name his opponent, Christian RVD. And who knows, maybe it will be the Great Khali. Whatever is. So Bobby and I know Orton is lame. He always puts himself to shame. I wish someone would take him out of the game. His briefcase, the wood, find and replace. And who knows, maybe they will give it to a face. No! No one can replace the babyface champion that has to face. No face. Because no one can see him, and no one can replace the unstoppable champion. Excuse me, as I can't finish this going to crap in a toilet and going to Ralph. Because too much Cena is bad for your health. Yes. A new champ I want. A new champ so much. Broken Punk match. Good, but would much rather the Heyman's bunch. Mark Henry and Usos in Total Diva rules. And when Ryback sees meals, he growls and he drools. And Damien Sandow is the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses, you ignorant fools. You're welcome.
I love how
good.
Big PPC thinks poems work.
No, I think he needs to cut a single on this thing.
That was like
That was
50
fantastic.
That was like 50 haikus in one.
Anyway, questions. Who is in hope of a D-Bry versus Cena versus Punk match after SummerSlam pay-per-view if D-Bry loses to Cena at SummerSlam? Or if not, Punk, who would you include in his place? That is complicated. What do you think of October's pay-per-view name now as Battleground? And finally, WrestleFan, what do you think of Sandow almost drowning in your putrid, disgusting excuse for water at the Gulf of Mexico? LOL, figured that is how he would say it. Don't drink the water. And take care till next time. It's been me. It's been the fan of the year. At Big PPC. Keep up great work. Mayhem Crew sent from me.
That may have been
Well, Eamon,
email
you're
of
first.
the year.
You answer that last question, please.
Well, for those that did watch SmackDown, in Sorg, I think you watched it. You saw the color of that water, right?
Yeah, it was kind of not cool.
Yeah, there was no doctoring to that.
There was no dog. Well, the best part was the last part when he's recovered and out of it. You see stuff floating by.
Yeah, I don't think that was.
Yeah.
I think that
Not
was
the cleanest place.
that may or may not have been poop.
Also,
It's all
not the Gulf of
diapers and
Mexico.
half-eaten tacos.
Diaper tacos.
Ugh.
Those are.
Well,
Oh, yeah, also totally not the Gulf of Mexico, except no one questions it when WWE.
oh, geography be damned, man! Come on, it's pro wrestling. Kayfabe the geography.
They're kayfabing people who live in that city, though.
Shush.
Kayfabe everything else that happens.
That
Why
golf
should
is
Have
going
you ever
on
watched a
different?
movie that takes place in your city? Think of it that way.
Nothing. No movies take place in Corpus Christi.
Walk
Sorg.
around downtown Pittsburgh and go watch The Dark Knight Rises.
Eamon.
That's true.
Eamon. The WWE just gave that golf the gimmick of Gulf of Mexico. That's all.
No. We don't think your name as the Corpus Christi Bay is good enough. We want you to dye your hair blonde and become the Gulf of Mexico.
That's what NXT does to Gulfs, and it's so sad. I mean, fucking can't hold on to their identity, and now they're going to be less better wrestlers than they were when they were independent Gulf wrestlers.
No.
And it's just going to be a fucking shame.
Wrestling's all about losing your identity. LB, what's the next question there again?
Well, look at it this way. Whenever the WWE stops using it as the Gulf of Mexico, it can then market and sell DVDs under its own name.
That's true.
All accurate.
Okay.
What would TNA call
this
the Gulf
one?
of Mexico match?
This one was really complicated, and it's algebra in my head. So I'm going to read it again.
Okay.
Who is in hope of a D-Bry versus Cena versus Punk match after SummerSlam if D-Bry loses to Cena at SummerSlam? Or if not Punk, who would you include in his place?
Sulfur X.
Sulfur X, yeah, exactly. So would you like to see a three-way between those guys at the next one? I think Night of Champions is up next.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know how he got to
Maybe.
that. I don't know how he got to that conclusion of let's do a three-way.
It would have to make sense, though. That's the big thing.
Yeah. So I mean, something needs to happen that makes that happen. So I don't know. That's too complicated. I mean, I would love to see Punk involved somehow. I mean, I think everybody's dream right now is that he wins it and then Punk gets involved and we end up having a Punk Bryan for the title.
I wouldn't mind them.
But we've had that.
I wouldn't mind them throwing Kane in the mix.
Really? I don't know.
I'd be okay for that because Kane needs a last run with the title.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's busy with the Wyatts right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
that's
too.
true.
That's what
I mean,
I'm thinking
if the Wyatts can convert him or something like that, maybe throw him in there that way because he did chokeslam D-Bry last night.
I'm excited to see if they do convert him. If this does happen, what do they do with Kane? What does Kane become at this point? So
he's just
I'm
like
curious.
before, except his mask is red and black, but it's also the weird bunny sheet mask.
Yeah.
There you go. And the last question about Battleground. There was this
Wait, no. There's more to that other question.
What?
If you have Daniel Bryan versus Cena versus Punk, if not Punk, who would you want in that three-way?
That's what I
Can you
answered.
think of anybody right now? Really?
Orton, I guess. That's
Orton?
No!
Orton's the only
Orton
one
in
that makes
there.
sense, really. I mean, unless they'd have him do just, flounder around, walking around with the briefcase for a while. But I don't know.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
if we're going to do that, why not? Sure.
Sure.
Can I get the Battleground
Last question.
now?
What do you think of October's pay-per-view name now as Battleground? I think it's great.
Sure.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it better than Over the Limit.
I think it sounds like one of those, build your own robot reality show things, and I love it.
Chris Jericho is also going to host WWE Battleground.
Yeah. No, not like the shitty one Chris Jericho hosted, but like what BattleBots or whatever it was. It reminds me of something like that kind of show would be called.
Alex is saying in the chat, and I think I heard some people say in the hangout last night, War Games.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I said last night.
Could be. I don't see them doing it. Maybe they'd at least do the cage, like one cage version
At least
of it
do
or something.
something like that. Some gimmick. Give us.
But they already have Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell is like next after it.
But make something new. You know.
Yeah,
Give us a gimmick with this.
Maybe we do like one match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something.
Call of Duty Battleground style.
I mean,
don't give them guns then.
All right. On that note, I think that is all the email. We didn't have any voicemails this week. Aww. So
What the
before we get to the Indie Minute, we have a new affiliate here on the show. You heard about it at the top of the show for you guys listening later. And LB is going to tell you all about this.
Yes, LB is. Okay, folks. As Sorg said, we do have a new affiliate here on the show, and this is an important one. I want to take a second here. I want to talk to you about some real shit. We all have needs. Nothing wrong with that. Now, for the first time, the Wrestling Mayhem Show will help you meet yet another one of those needs in your life. Head on over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com and click the link to our newest sponsor, Fleshlight. That's right, folks. It's time to treat yourself a little J-date. Fleshlight has everything you need to treat yourself properly. Lubes, DVDs, lots of toys, and of course, the world-famous Fleshlight. Now, I hear what you're saying, Lunchbox. What if I'm not into girls? My friend, that is no problem. There is something for everyone. Like I said, head over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com, click the banner that says Fleshlight. We get a little bit of the credit. You get the best thing you've ever purchased in your life. Everybody wins. That's all. Fleshlight. Fuck that thing.
Are we allowed to use that? Isn't that a Kevin Smith thing? I didn't know if he...
Oh, I wrote down a bunch of other ones. So, let's see here. Fleshlight. Because you deserve it.
Okay.
That's genuine.
That's from the heart right there.
I've got a whole list of taglines to use, so...
I just thought of the Macho Man and said, speaking from the heart.
All right, and with that is the perfect lead-in for one Indie Minute. Amateur falling down.
Fleshlights are just like indie wrestling.
Add your metaphor here.
Tell us at goodtimesatwrestlingmayhemshow.com why you think fleshlights are like independent wrestling. Maybe we'll feature those responses on the show.
From the chat, Fleshlight, don't make this weird.
I would be so interested to read those emails.
What's weird about putting your dinker in like a rubber tube? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Did you say
What's
your
weird,
dinker?
number one? Calling it a dinker.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit, WrestleFan just topped my entire commercial in one sentence. What's wrong with putting your dinker in a plastic tube? Damn, that's good shit. Fleshlight. What's wrong with putting your dinker in a plastic tube?
And that's it.
Shit's never going on my resume.
Wow.
So, indie wrestling. It's time for the Indie Minute, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I want to talk about is a company that is doing a lot of cool stuff that I want to mention, and that is our good friends at Beyond Wrestling. They've always been on the cutting edge of all things pro wrestling, doing a lot of different stuff. They are one of my personal favorites when it comes to them in social media, their production value. They're really, really great stuff. Couple of news from them. You can now pre-order their most recent event, Americanrana, which was one of their biggest events they've ever held. It features such matches as Kevin Steen taking on Masada, Eddie Edwards versus Biff Busick. There was AR Fox. There was Johnny Gargano. There was Colt Cabana. There's tons of awesome independent wrestling names at this show that also mixed it up with a bunch of the Beyond Wrestling names. And it looks like a really, really awesome event, so I encourage you to definitely go check them out at lookmonofans.com. The second thing is they have an event, one of their studio tapings coming up, which is a big event that they're bringing back for the second time. And it's called the Tournament for Tomorrow. It's an event that is meant to showcase some talents in the independent wrestling world that may have not been recognized, that may have not, are sort of like, the gems of independent wrestling, the ones you don't really know about. And some of the names that have been announced are pretty interesting, but the big one that I was excited about and I talked about for, if you follow me on Twitter, at Eamon Please, just made me so happy. A Texas talent that has gone very much unrecognized and is finally going to get a shot to go somewhere outside of Texas to the East Coast and sort of do something awesome. And that's the Centerfold Matthew Palmer. If you've never seen a Centerfold Matthew Palmer match, I encourage you to check him out because he is absolutely spectacular. And he's going to be competing in the tournament for tomorrow, which was an event that a lot of people say was the event that took someone like ACH and made him a national name and made people, recognize what he could do. And, now he's working for Ring of Honor, and now he's been working in, he's worked Chikara and Dragon Gate, and he's worked tons of other companies. So this is a very, this is a great opportunity, and it can open some doors. So I encourage you to check that out when they release that, the tournament for tomorrow. And like I said, go to lookmonofans.com, go to Beyond Wrestling on Facebook and Twitter to interact with the people of Beyond Wrestling, and go support them because they are one of my personal favorites when it comes to independent wrestling. And also for cool events that you can check out. This is about a month away, but I found this very interesting. I love that they're returning with this over at smvod.com, Smart Mark Video on Demand. Wrestling is Fun is doing an iPay-per-view on August 24th, I believe. And also, Wrestling is Cool is joining them in the iPay-per-view wheel, and they will be having a pay-per-view on the 25th. I really am starting to enjoy this Wrestling Is stuff. They have been a great extension of what used to be Chikara, and they're really continuing with that, and they're growing upon that, and it's really interesting stuff, and I'm glad that they are doing the iPay-per-views now. Smart Mark Video has always been really good with their iPay-per-views, and especially Wrestling Is Fun. They've done some iPay-per-views in the past, and they've been really great, but they're bringing it back, and they're doing some awesome stuff, and hopefully all the Wrestling Is promotions can start doing that because you get to see a lot of names that you don't get to see, normally in Chikara, mixed with some of, really the top Chikara stars. And it looks like a fun show. So I encourage you, if you have $9.99, go check that out, or order an iPay-per-view and go check out Wrestling Is, and go support them. Support them at their various websites. I think it's wrestlingisfun.com, wrestlingiscool.com, and go support them.
Enjoy your potassium.
Yes. And the final thing that I want to talk about is another huge event coming up this weekend if you're in the Toronto, Canada area, all you Canadians out there, and that's Ring of Honor's All Star Extravaganza. This looks like an absolutely amazing card. August 3rd in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It looks like a really great show. The main event, and this is semi-spoilers from the Ring of Honor tapings, but Ring of Honor has made this known because it's such big news. New Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions Rocky Romero and Alex Kozlov, the Forever Hooligans, who are also the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in Japan, won the tag titles at their recent TV tapings, and from Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. They are the new tag team champions, and they will be defending those belts at All Star Extravaganza against the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. There's a lot of great talent in this show. Paul London taking on Michael Elgin. There's Brian Kendrick taking on Kevin Steen. There's a lot of more talent from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Kushida, who's an awesome talent from New Japan, is going to be debuting. The Young Bucks are returning to Ring of Honor after a long disappearance from ROH. It looks like a really stacked card, so if you're in Toronto and you want to go check that out, I encourage you to go to rhwrestling.com, go to All Star Extravaganza, and go see some of, go see the number 3 promotion in the country and see what they can do on a huge night for them where they, convulge a lot of great talent from all over the world. So like I said, go to rhwrestling.com for more information.
And whatever you think of ROH, they have definitely always delivered when it comes to a live show. Even the TV tapings are way more entertaining than a Raw or SmackDown taping or anything like that. So please go check that out. Excellent, man. Excellent. Sorry, the chat room's still in the dinker stuff. With that, guys, we're gonna go to gold, see what's going on from local wrestling here, and be back with Remember When.
Come with it.
I want to put this. I want to look at our viewers while I'm talking about the fleshlight.
What if we do something with divas?
Oh, yeah.
That was released.
Dinker, a word used only by people with half Mexican friends. They usually use it when referring to most anything.
Yeah, and you can have like 1, 2, 3, 4, answers. You can say, yeah, it's awesome. No, it's not. I'm indifferent. Or who the fuck is Ron Van Dam?
Welcome back. Man, that RWA show looks good. I'm getting my copy. Are you? Folks, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. So this week was the premiere of Total Divas, and they did quite well. If I'm not mistaken, they did like a 1.3 in ratings, which pretty much blows TNA out of the water. But I want to talk about some underrated divas. On this week's Remember When? I don't remember when, I don't remember again, I don't remember when, one of the most underrated divas for me. I have a soft spot, not necessarily for her wrestling abilities, which she did have, but for her ability to sell and the way that she established her character and always stayed in it, was Maurice. I think she did a fantastic job during her short time in the WWE. The way she would flip her hair, the way she would, and I know this, it sounds like normal diva shit, putting her hand up and stuff like that, but she did it in such a way that was like kind of frantic and kind of twitchy. And she was just, there was a lot of subtle maneuvers that she did that I think were very highly underrated. If I'm not mistaken, it was what's his name? He's a friend of the show, WrestleFan. What's his name? He was on the show.
I think you're talking about
Right.
Brandon Stroud.
I'm talking about Brandon Stroud. He put it in a fantastic way. He said that there was a video of her getting slapped in the face, and she sold it like she was falling out of a plane. And he is 1,000% correct. Maurice was fantastic at that kind of shit. Go back and watch some videos if you can, because she's. I think she was vastly underrated. And even though she may have had 1 or 2 runs with the Divas title, also very underutilized.
He was a good heel.
Well, anybody French is a good heel, really.
Mhm.
So you just have to be French.
Are you from another country? You're an amazing heel.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we got weird audio from you, Eamon. Take a look at your setup there.
Okay.
Wow, that's weird.
Wow.
So
Weird.
we'll wait for him to come back there. If you have something to unplug and plug back in, do that.
Sure.
Audio-wise. Bobby, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Ivory.
Oh, Riz.
I think
Riz had
Ivory,
that.
Ivory was beautiful. She was confident.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't utilize her well enough, I don't think. She had the women's title, but she really didn't, didn't leave her mark.
There wasn't much for women wrestlers in her era.
Yeah. Her biggest thing, I think, was being in right to censor,
Mm-hmm.
and being Stevie Richards' main madam, if you will, I guess. She kept everyone in line in right to censor. I really liked Ivory. I think she was good.
Mm-hmm.
Good heel, good face. When she was a face, she was really good too. So that's my choice as underrated diva.
What about you, Eamon?
How do I sound?
Whoa, hey.
Whoa, terrible.
Really
still.
weird. We'll see how this goes.
Hey, maybe Sorg should give his moment and then call me back, and then maybe we can do something.
All right, we'll try calling them back. I kept thinking. I think the obvious one is to me Daphne.
Oh yeah.
Underrated because she never got hired by WWE. You know what I mean? And even in TNA, she didn't really get to do much, but be kind of the manager, hangout chick. You know what I mean? I can't recall her doing much else. But when she has, like, I've seen her in matches here, indies here in town, and I thought she was a great wrestler. But it just, that side never seemed to come out much from what we've seen on TV. And I think that's really unfortunate. So, Eamon, are you back?
That was a great pick, Sorg, that I totally heard what it was.
The audio is still messed up, but
That is weird.
that is really funky, dude.
I don't know what to do with that.
No, well, I'll try to adjust on this side. Just talk so I have some stuff going on. What was your pick?
My pick is not only someone that I think is very underrated, but I also think is the person that was my very first ever pro wrestling crush,
Okay.
and that was Nydia.
Okay.
Nydia was
Oh,
someone
wow.
that, in my opinion, was never utilized properly. The Jamie Noble stuff was fun, and it was a cool thing that people sort of reference now. One of my least favorite things about the stuff Nydia did was anytime they would put her in like a bikini contest or like a sexy sort of thing, and they would put her against like Tori Wilson or like Dawn Marie, so they would make her look super ugly.
They also
Like
put her
she
in
was
flannel.
unattractive when she is actually very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I always hated that. And she was also a phenomenal wrestler, you know, coming up from Tough Enough, and, you know, she always had that skill. I remember when she went over to Raw at a point where, like, Raw had, like, the strongest women's roster in, like, to my knowledge. Because you had Trish, you had Lita, you had Victoria, you had Molly, you had Jazz, you had Ivory, you had all those
Other
great people.
other Tori.
You had Gail Kim. And Nydia was in there, and she was holding her own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was showing that she was up there. And I do think, like, a run with the Women's Championship could have been really nice for her. I would have loved to see that. She was always one of my favorite. I thought she had great personality, and, like I said, the wrestling was up there. So she is definitely my pick.
Mm-hmm. From the chat, there's some fun ones from the chat. There was, like, Nicole Bass, Cherry. There was a couple others
Remember
in here.
Cherry?
Cherry?
I would say Tori with an eye.
Whatever
Cherry
happened
was
to her?
good stuff.
Whatever happened to her, right? And I started kind of poking through some of the old divas. A couple interesting ones popped up. What I think, I mean, maybe it's just early, but oh crap, I forget her name. Lithuanian chick that's always like
Oksana? Are you kidding me?
Oksana. She's not bad.
I like
She's not
Oksana.
good. She is not good.
Yeah, Jillian
Katie
Hall.
Lee or
Katie Lee's
Winter
underrated.
or whatever you want to call her. She's good. Seen some stuff of her out off of TV. That's really good. So there you go. So let us know your Cyndi Lauper. Mad Mike was a fan of Jillian, Stephanie McMahon. Rockin' Robin. Okay, we're going crazy here. Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie. Yeah.
Pretty Mean Sisters.
Pretty Mean Sisters. I mean, she counts.
No, I think that's the other.
No, Jackie Gata, yeah.
Jackie Gata, okay.
I remember her.
I remember her.
Lillian Garcia, Mega. Like, all right, now we're moving away from that. Thanks, guys. Yeah, let us know your diva. Hit up at Mayhem Show and let us know what your underrated diva was as well, or on the Facebook or Google Plus as well, or good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or the hotline
Time.
at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. So let's get into it. Raw last night. What happened? Anything interesting you want to talk about right off the bat? I thought you had something, Eamon.
I said stuff happened.
Stuff happened. Stuff and things. All right.
It was an
What do you-
okay Raw.
Yeah.
I
What do you
don't
guys-
remember a lot.
What do you guys think of the corporate makeover ideas for Daniel Bryan?
I wanted to come around like Mick Foley. Is that what we're doing here? I mean, we're going to have him with a big beard and a suit, and I feel like this is going to be the Mick Foley angle.
As someone that has really hated this Triple H, Stephanie, Vince McMahon clusterfuck they've been doing for a couple weeks, I really have disliked that. However, I do love them being inserted into the Daniel Bryan thing and being all, you're not corporate enough for us.
Mm-hmm.
You're still the indie wrestling guy. You're still the guy that has work rate.
I was trying to figure out how they were going to get it so Vince McMahon doesn't like Cena as a champion. when we go back from the Stone Cold, you're not corporate enough. Daniel Bryan, you're not corporate enough. I don't like your attitude. And like, what could you possibly say bad about Cena to make him not be the champion you want as Vince McMahon? And
He doesn't.
that's. I thought they did a pretty serviceable job. It's obviously all in Vince's head, as far as the perception goes. But
that's a belief that a lot of people have. And, it very well could be a true belief, and I don't know, but there's a lot of people that believe that everything is set on corporate, everything is set on being marketable, everything is set on that to the point where they don't believe in anyone that has work rates, or don't believe anyone that can put on
whoa. No.
25-minute matches.
I'm talking about him turning on Cena.
Well, yeah. No, the Cena stuff's interesting, too.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like I thought it was going to be tough for him to come around and say, I don't like Cena, he's not my kind of champion.
Mm-hmm.
He's turned on Cena in the past, though.
Okay, what was the basis then?
Haven't they a feud before?
I can't recall there being that.
I remember some kind of feud or some kind of tension. It was basically something along the lines of, it was really normal. Vince wants you to do something, Cena won't do it. There wasn't much to it.
I thought it was during the Punk stuff. Like Vince was opposing Cena at points.
I can't recall at that point. But either way, but I really like how they're building up to this. It's feeling like a big deal, and I really like the idea that Cena Bryan is going to main event SummerSlam. As low as we probably think of SummerSlam compared to a Money in Bank these days or something like that, this is still, it is one of the big four with that history and everything. This is still a big deal.
The story of the match has actual ramifications, and
Exactly.
like I said, there's a lot of people out there that do believe in what the story is all about, and that ideal. So I think it allows people to get really invested in it.
It is really interesting that they're echoing a lot of the stuff that we hear in the dirt sheets, and there's been speculation. I know they've been talking about a lot alongside the Reddit user that's been putting out the spoilers for the last 7 months. That there are a lot of cases where they feed the dirt sheets information to kind of muddy the waters as far as what information is what. But this idea that we hear, Vince doesn't like Bryan for his size and everything, and to have him come out on TV and say the exact same thing, that seems a little speculative to me.
Or like the reports that came out that Cesaro wasn't getting pushed because they thought he was boring. Like those reports. I do think a lot of it is very much bullshit and dirt sheet, just stirring up shit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think it's extremely complicated. I don't believe anything a dirt sheet says, but I do think there's a lot of people, and that the mentality has been there for the longest time, that if you are a guy that is here and is loved by people solely on work rate, or on the fact that you can put on a 25-minute match with somebody, like we saw Daniel Bryan and Cesaro do, you don't necessarily get looked down upon, but you're not even considered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the ideal that's been happening for so long, and that's the thing that's been ingrained in people, not necessarily that read the dirt sheets, but just independent fans and just anyone in general. That's the belief. Nobody thought Daniel Bryan was going to do anything. Or at least there was a fear in people's mind that he wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I really go back to, I really think Daniel Bryan, with that crowd response, is seriously on a Stone Cold level right now.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the fans
Definitely.
are consistently exploding behind him. You can blame it on the catchphrase, you can blame it on, or say it's actually, people are actually getting by this guy.
Yeah. I think the catchphrase plays into it.
It does.
Because, people want to chant stuff.
Exactly.
But, how I tweeted it last night, how great was it seeing somebody, a kid who was 7 or 8, maybe, wearing one of these T-shirts, doing the yes chant? This isn't the T-shirt people grab it at WWE events if you're a 7, 8-year-old child. Mm-hmm. You grab the Cena shirt, you grab the Sheamus shirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't grab this shirt. You grab this shirt because you know who Daniel Bryan is as Bryan Danielson.
Exactly.
He's a likable dude,
Yeah.
He's a very likable dude, and he's
and-
made himself a compelling,
and-
marketable thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's learned how to play that game, and I think that makes him such a say deadly weapon as far as marketability and somebody that can put on a show. He's done every aspect that we would want out of him. I got some in my mouth. Now, and also as far as that, how hot he is, and everybody's talking in the chat room about that too. What about this idea of maybe everybody is so behind him because he is the underdog, whereas we looked at Stone Cold and he was the blue collar, hate your boss, let's do something about it kind of guy. D-Bry is the, maybe a little off, got the big beard, looks kind of like a trucker, but still he is the little guy. He is the underdog. He is, when you look at his build, he probably reflects more of the people in the audience than definitely a John Cena, right? So I think we have another great underdog appreciation, who's somebody everybody's recognizing how talented he is and entertaining he is, but he still is very relatable. And I think that's something they haven't had on this level for a good long time.
Yeah, it's kind of like Punch-Out.
Sorry, go ahead, Bobby.
It's kind of like Punch-Out, Little Mac versus Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
Like
the
John
underdog
Cena's
story is one of the best stories in pro wrestling. It's the one that gets people into it the most. It's something that people can go on. The Stone Cold Steve Austin storyline, from the part where he was Stone Cold Steve Austin, that is an underdog story. And for example, his transformation as a heel in 2001 was because he had beaten everyone.
Yeah,
he had beaten absolutely everyone to the point where he wasn't the underdog, and he couldn't he wasn't beating people. He couldn't beat The Rock at WrestleMania, so he lost his mind.
Yeah.
That is a compelling storyline. And it's and like I said, that's, but you can never, there's a difference between them making Daniel Bryan an underdog that's relatable and them say whether you think it's true or not, when they constantly try to make Cena the underdog. There's different, when he's wrestling Mark Henry, and as much as I love Mark Henry, the fact that Cena couldn't pick up Mark Henry for the attitude adjustment.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times, right? So it was like, okay, well, we're playing this game again, right? When it comes to, he can't lift Mark Henry, he can't lift Big Show. We've seen him happen 100 times, and we know it.
But I think with someone the size of Daniel Bryan, and they're building the fact that he's a small guy, he's not jacked. He doesn't have a lot of power, a lot of strength behind him, but it's all in that speed, it's all in that intensity, it's all in how hard he can hit you.
Yeah.
That is something that can go on for years.
LB, you've been kind of quiet on this one. What do you think about the D-Bry situation?
I hate to say this because this is a very good conversation, and it's also a very hopeful conversation. There's a lot of hope in this conversation. And I hate to be the one who shits in the cereal bowl, but I just don't see this lasting with Daniel Bryan. He's getting a really good push right now, and it's great. And he's going up against the face of the company, and like WrestleFan says, he's the guy who's got this work rate. But the fact of the matter is, I firmly believe. He's going to lose to John Cena, and that'll be that.
Or is the door open to him because of somebody that's got a funny look to him, like a CM Punk did so well the last couple of years?
I think it's
possible. I think the door's also open because he works his fucking balls off.
Yeah.
Just like CM Punk did.
Yeah.
Who's to say John Cena can't beat Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam and Daniel Bryan not lose any steam?
How did you fix your audio? It's what I want.
I have no idea.
What did you do? What is
Magic!
Beautiful.
He's a wizard.
Thank you. I like this idea, and I've heard this a bit too. Like this idea that maybe these are the new everyday man, smaller guys that bring in a new Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels type era. Look what's happening every time Daniel Bryan gets in the ring with a Seth Rollins or a Cesaro. That's when you see things turn up, right? I keep saying, every time I see those guys in the ring like that, they take their moment and they wrestle like their lives depend on it. These guys, I think these are the guys in the company that realize we've done this for so long. You and I have done this a million times. We are on the biggest stage we're ever going to be on doing this thing, aside from WrestleMania itself. They know how many people are watching, and they want to be remembered, and it's fucking working.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It really, and I know we talked about this before, but ROH has seeped into WWE in a fantastic fashion here.
Mm-hmm.
Because isn't this, when you start seeing stuff like that, is that trickling in exactly why, LB, why you dig on your old ROH DVDs, right? It is seeing matches like that.
It's
Mhm.
sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know if you had.
Sorry, I was trying to feed into LB, but you had something to say.
I'm sorry. But I was gonna say it's like when we had Dutters on to talk about the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And how there was that period of time in the Attitude Era where it was not about wrestling, it was just about your character, and it was just about having a story. It's not, I get what you're saying with the ROH thing, but it's not ROH, it's just good wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And, that we've lived in an era where now you have to be a good wrestler.
Yeah.
As opposed to the time where you didn't have to be a good wrestler, you could just be a character, and you could do some stuff, and you would still be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you have to hold your own with a Cesaro and a Daniel Bryan. And we've seen people like Jack Swagger do great stuff. We've seen him have great matches with an Alberto Del Rio. Dolph Ziggler wasn't really an ROH guy. And he realizes that he has to have spectacular matches now.
Mm-hmm. And he does.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he does.
Exactly. Well, other than that, we all watched Raw last night, but I want to know how many people here watched Total Divas, which I keep calling Totally Divas for some reason. So I apologize for that if you noticed that on my Twitters. I realized I completely botched the hashtag earlier today. So, did everybody watch it? I caught it today.
I watched it last night.
Everybody caught it.
Regrettably.
I read a recap.
You're even watching. Okay. All right. What do we think of it? Are we happy it exists?
It was television.
It was television.
I'm hearing a lot of people saying it was
there
crap,
goes.
and I'm hearing a lot of people saying it was very entertaining.
I think it depends. If you're somebody who's entertained by that kind of show, it was probably entertaining. If you're somebody that's entertained by, I don't even know how to do this.
It felt like Keeping Up with the Bellas.
It did. If you believe, I really don't believe anything that happens on that show is legitimate whatsoever. I think that show is as real as what we watched last night on Raw. I'm sorry. Right. I can't believe that these girls are this catty in real life. You know what I mean?
And John Cena bought me a Range Rover.
I mean, everything is. And the ring thing. It's like, didn't we get the report about his divorce? It wasn't a few weeks before when that was filmed. That's so ridiculous.
The big problem I have was there a story basically about how Natalya is the ugly duckling of the group?
Yeah.
That's basically what they're going for. So that's why they had that match on Raw where she wrestled Brie Bella and Nikki came out making duck noises.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
But the problem is that episode was filmed before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why are they doing anything with it now?
Well, it's gonna be a little weird because they're going to try to do stuff on Raw that pertains to the show. That's stuff that happened 6 months ago to keep things kind of in line and keep it going back and forth. But yeah, they haven't done anything tying into that show that isn't awkward as fuck on Monday night.
When the world wants to know, when are we going to see a Total Divas Duck Dynasty crossover?
I'd love to see it.
Are they going to show the Bellas buying the duck call from the Duck Dynasty people?
That'd be amazing.
From Uncle Si.
That'll be amazing. But I mean, I don't know, and it felt like that conversation that he had about the ring seemed more daunting than fighting The Rock on the main event of WrestleMania. I also don't I can't. I mean, again, not really knowing the inner workings, but if you don't know a week before WrestleMania that you don't have a match, you probably don't have a match, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed. I mean, not being there, but that seems like how that would work, right? Like everything seems to be pretty set in stone. You see like 7-9 matches on a WrestleMania card, you can't squeeze much in there. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I maybe watch the show just to see clips of Daniel Bryan and Asparagus.
All right, why not?
All right, sure.
No, for those that don't know, Asparagus is the name of his dog.
Oh.
good.
LB, recap. How did the show come off on recaps? First of all,
I've seen enough reality television and parody of reality television that I had a pretty good idea of what was going on in my head when they mentioned that they were saying something as a talking head. I could see it. From what I read, it was exactly what I kind of thought it would be. You know what I mean? It's taking things that are actually happening and letting them happen. And in most reality TV, they use a lot of editing to spice things up.
And there's a lot of setup too. It's like great.
Yeah, there's a lot of set, and they handpick their personalities of the contestants as well, so that they don't have to do as much editing. But on this, they couldn't handpick the personalities as much, so it's editing and storylines.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's entertaining for what it is. I'm glad it's successful. It's something different, and I'll probably actually watch it if it shows up on Daily Motion. I don't have cable.
It did. So, but yeah, it's. I'm actually surprised it's not on Hulu Plus, considering. Or maybe we'll on delay. I don't know. I'll keep an eye out for it and report back. Cars says in the chat room the most important thing about Total Divas is that it did better ratings than Impact.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Oh yeah, can we talk about an update from our story last week?
Well, let's hold on to that for a moment. Let's hold on to that for a moment. There, I do want to call attention to if you are a recrap fan like Mr. LB, if you draw your attention over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Do you keep saying recrap?
Yes, I did that one on purpose. Mad Mike.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
Mad Mike does review Total Divas, so you can go over there and check that out. As well. So he does a great job with the TNA reviews. Mad Mike's watching the thing that you don't want to, so you don't have to. So go check that out, and while you're there, go check out our sponsor. So yeah, I just wanted to get you guys into that because it's hard to stay up on Sunday nights. I understand that. So what did you want to pick on, Eamon?
So yeah, TNA's horrible. Out of the many people that were released from the company, from specifically the ones that were the gut check contestants, for those that don't know, there was a female gut check contestant that won named Taylor Hendrick. She won her gut check. She got like a match on Impact. Then she went to OVW, and then she got like another match on Impact, and then they got rid of her. And it's come out today in interviews post her release from TNA that an official for TNA told her at one point that she was too heavy for TV. Not only that, specifically, they told her this on her birthday.
Oh, sad birthday.
Because TNA doesn't think like rational human beings.
And I'm sorry, and she even said she was like a size 3 at the time and everything.
Yeah, that is too heavy for TV.
Apparently, I can't. That's ridiculous. If it is
I have
true,
a question.
Yes.
Will there ever be a time when we stop being surprised at TNA's awful decisions?
No. Oh, but did we mention about Ask Dixie last week?
I think we did. We said we should follow it, and there was a statement.
Follow it. But the president
scolded us.
has released a statement about Ask Dixie, and we all just got sent to the principal's office.
Oh no!
I told people I literally want someone to take that statement he released and read it over a PA at a high school.
Boys and
Instead of
girls
disciplining us. because of her shitty company.
Yeah.
Yeah, how dare you? I'm going to fire a bunch of employees and then open up in a public forum that you can ask me whatever you want. How dare you then ask me whatever you want?
That is true. I'm going back even in the other question is like, oh, she was too much for TV. It was like, yeah, but what is ODB? What is Awesome Kong?
See, that's the difference. They're not making fun of Taylor Hendrick. Her
I
gimmick
see.
is not to be a joke.
I see. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But good for her. She's already doing Shimmer and stuff like that. So
yeah, she's booked on like all the female wrestling.
sure.
shows.
She's and even Jesse Sorensen showed up right away on the Indies. You know. I go back to and TNA, and again in our principal office statement, it went back to how we're going to cycle through talents here and there, bring back names and everything to keep things fresh, right? This kind of thing. Everybody that gets picked up from Azima on to Jesse Sorensen to Taylor Hendricks now. Even if I know it's not the same as going on WWE and really kind of getting a name, but at least you get to say, as seen on Spike TV's TNA, their price, ideally, I would hope, goes up to the indie promoters. So and hopefully they're smart enough to capitalize on that, because in the end, when you're in the wrestling business, when you're a wrestler, you also have to be, in the long run, a good marketer and business person, which I know not a lot are. But so I feel it's shitty what the company does by cycling these guys out. You got a job, you don't have a job, let's pull something else in, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's got to be at least somewhat helpful to these guys to at least have gone on there and said that, hey, I've been in TNA.
I think it is, and I think, like you said, they will benefit from getting more indie bookings because of it, or getting more paid because of it. But I do think that the ideal of we're going to cycle in these newer talents that you've never seen before, and art that you don't have enough time to get a connection with.
That's true. That
So
is
why
true.
would you care when they come
When's the
back?
last time somebody cycled in like that and then actually kind of stuck around to become a Samoa Joe or a Magnus or a even to that?
Name one that was cycled in.
Exactly. That's why I think we kind of get tired of people at a certain level. Is like, okay, we got Mr. Anderson. Okay, we got these guys that on the card start from Chris Sabin. Well, Chris Sabin's the champion now, but Chris Sabin, Samoa Joe, Storm, etc., up to the Stings and the Hogans, and everybody that falls below that line, I can't think of anybody that is a regular quote unquote on the show that is from after really 5 years ago. Samoa Joe feels like he was the last guy that was the new guy that made it. Yeah, that wasn't exactly. A WWE guy.
And take what they did with this X Division pay-per-view, that they brought back Sanjay Dutt and Petey Williams and Homicide. $20 says they're not going to be on any future shows for the next 6 months.
No, but luckily guys like that are they're doing other things. Those guys.
No, and it's good for them. I'm not talking about them on a personal level. I'm talking about the company as a whole and how you develop connections with characters and storylines. You can't do that when you're cycling in people.
Mm-hmm. It's true. That's true. I don't know. This business is always going that company's always going to do things a little bit different. And I can't. I'm trying to justify it, but I'm kind of tired of it. Of hearing about all the crap. But then again, it's building up enough saying bad things about it. But I don't know. You get the same thing from WWE. People thinking they got treated like shit, but it's a big company. You get to TNA just doesn't feel like it's big enough of a company to justify, being dicks. So, yeah. But they are on TV. They are on TV. Every time I say TNA blah, I do have somebody that says, "Hey, they're doing better than so and so show." Referencing.
Who's saying that?
I'll tell you off air who's saying that.
Let me talk to that.
But they're doing better ratings than ROH. They're doing better than They're doing. They are consistently, and this was something else that was told to me. There was like, well, if you think about it, whatever you think of them, wherever you think they are compared to WWE, TNA Impact consistently does better than most anything else on Spike TV.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
But then
for
again-
a high fraction of the costs of some of that content, right? There's a reason we have reality TV all over the damn place, because it's dirt fucking cheap. And wrestling, on that level, the way they're doing it, has to be, pretty cheap in comparison to some other productions.
Except for Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue.
Yeah, it's an awesome show.
So there
TNA
you go.
wishes it could be Bar Rescue.
Guys, on that note, please let me... Wait, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Because we have got to look at this video. This is weird and sideways, apparently. But this is... I think I queued it up to the point where the guy runs in the ring. Okay, so there's a guy sneaking up
yeah.
Randy Orton. He hits him. Oh,
This is not me.
What is that? This guy was serious about running in there. But Randy...
Apparently, from the reports, is like he shoved Biggie Langston and then got into the ring and did that.
Oh, my God.
You already let that happen.
Oh my God! And please,
That's the balls.
people, learn to fucking hold your iPhone. Oh my! I hate this.
Randy Orton's floating.
I hate this. What is this? The
Easy,
guy? Is this the guy at the ringside? Hold on, maybe. I don't know, but it's like a 3-minute video, and that's like the only point where something happens. So, also, wanted to add a video. YouTube has a video editor. Come on, guys. Guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week, Bobby?
I learned I was not in South America. And I learned that I think Daniel Bryan's going to be John Cena.
Whoa.
I have that feeling.
Throwing that down here, huh?
Throwing it down.
Whoa.
That's my prediction.
Wow. What about you, Eamon?
I learned from wrestling this week. If you are an employee of some sort in WWE and not an actual wrestler, your catering is awful. Like, they had like tuna salad and like wheat.
And it gets slapped in your ear.
Yeah. Hi, Ricky Starks.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm glad you got that tuna salad out of your ear.
We didn't know if it was tuna salad or oatmeal.
I talked to him. He clarified it's tuna salad.
Tuna salad? Okay.
It's cool
Wow.
to know indie wrestlers that get tuna salad. thrown
What
in their
about you,
face.
LB?
If you had told me a year ago,
Whoa!
oh, sleepy robot,
Sleepy robot.
Jesus,
Sleepy
Jesus, sleepy robot.
That was awesome
Oh,
timing.
here.
Yes.
That was perfect. That was spot on. Sleepy
What do I
robot. If you had
No
told
one gives
me
a shit.
1 year ago that the best way to improve Kane at this point would be to take his mask and turn it into a weird sheep mask, I would have said, where is your time machine? Because I am interested. Why are we talking about wrestling when you have a goddamn time machine?
Wow. Wow. Anyway, I got you. Yeah, I got all you guys. From the chat room.
Sorg?
Tony Garza learned that Vince has gone back to his Attitude Era hair. I'm sorry. Riz learned that Virgil has a radar attached to his rotted brain that attracts him to people wearing wrestling shirts at Comic-Cons. Cars learned that our target audience is truly 18 to 35, given our new affiliate. Texas Anarchy learned not to mumble next to Ryback while he is getting catering. Mad Mike learned, that the Funkadactyl is dating an Uso. Oh no, I lost it. Oh no. And they have not made this thing on TV. Yeah, there you go.
I learned that Jimmy Uso's real name is not Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, that was a revelation.
John?
Like, John is not marketable, apparently, right?
John isn't Samoan.
Sounds so much like John Cena.
We have one too many
form of
Johns.
Jim?
I am so sorry, WrestleFan. I forgot to bring this stuff up during the indie minute. Maybe I'll have to earmark it for next week so I can talk about it at length. But I went to Detroit this past weekend. There's a certain project coming up. I think you can figure it out if you look at my pictures on Google Plus or Facebook or my tweets over the last weekend. So I got to hang a little bit and check out some wrestling shows up there. one actually in Detroit, one in Flint, Michigan. And so I learned about wrestling that's not for wrestling fans. And in that case, and I won't go too far into it, but one is the Squared Circle Review. Which, and if you look at that, you probably can't tell on the video feed, but that under Authentic Attractions is one Zach Gowen under the a ring name of Pogo the Wonder Boy. So there was Invisible. There's a group called Creative Control with 2 Ks, including one guy named Triple J. Then they're fighting for the Bible Belt. And there's some, if you just look up Squared Circle Review on YouTube, you can find some clips, and I think you'll have a pretty good idea. Think how Chikara has the live commentary during their live shows, added with a live jam band that performs during the matches.
There's a guy named Clowntown?
I didn't see the Clowntown, but I did see Hobo the Clown, and he was in a wheelchair being escorted by Dr. Goofy. There was a mime. There's several Sasquatches.
Several Sasquatches.
What is? Help me out. The Assyrian Portal guys.
Yes.
We're both there.
They were.
I actually didn't get to stick around for the main event. And I think the one guy, the black guy with the juggalo paint, I think that's one of the dudes from ROH.
Wait, he was wearing paint?
He was wearing like juggalo paint.
Yeah, that's not him.
I thought he was. I don't know.
He wears a mask.
What's that?
He wears a mask, not paint.
Mask. Who are you talking about?
The dude from the Assyrian Portal.
No. There's another dude that I think was from ROH that was there. So, and of course, Zach Gowen and stuff like that. Nobody else I really recognized outside of that for the most part. But I mean, it was a pretty cool concept. Again, like they kind of market to the hipsters, I guess. But and they said they kept telling me, it's like, these aren't wrestling fans. This is just a show, and it happens to be in a wrestling ring and with people that can work. But there's a really big, like I said, there was an Invisible Man and a mime spot. So that gives you an idea. It is right. There was a snake charmer. There was like a ring dancer. It was crazy. It was awesome.
Father Time was that other promotion, huh?
Yeah, Father Time was at the other promotion. I think WrestleFan, please earmark next week so I can talk about this stuff. I regret.
We will have to.
I regret forgetting about it this week. So we'll do that. Guys, Wrestling Mayhem Show. Check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. What?
There was, if we're talking about like low-level wrestling shows that appeal to hipsters, there was actually a wrestling show in the city of Pittsburgh, like in the city limits in Lawrenceville. And I didn't attend, but a friend of mine did. And I saw pictures. Mm-hmm. Nobody who was known for anything, except for one guy wrestled in a gorilla suit under the name Sam Squatch. And I'm not making that up.
Oh, get me more information on this.
That's the best, man.
They fought in a bar, and they were like hitting each other with cans of PBR, and the crowd started chanting nacho cheese. So they threw nacho cheese at each other and hit each other in the head with nachos.
Get me more information, dude.
This is a promotion made for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll get into that. But hey, guys, Wrestling Mayhem Show, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blip TV, Roku, YouTube, video and audio versions. Go subscribe, rate, please comment. Also, drop us a line to our email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And also drop us a line at 412-206-WMS0 by the app WMS Gold. And also, if I can get to it, we got new shirts. Did anybody see these new shirts we have?
I love them.
If you go to Pro Wrestling Tees, a great Alex Cars, he's been known. He's done a Chikara memory shirt. He's done a Turtle Wiener shirt. And I said, sir, I would like you to do a shirt for us.
Alex Cars did a shirt with a Turtle Wiener on it. That's what you just said.
No, it was for the Turtle Wiener.
It goes with our new sponsor.
Our new sponsor. But if you go ProWrestlingTees.com, if you go to podcasts and YouTube, and you'll find us, the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Look, there's some familiar faces. And you can check out, you can, of course, get the classic logo, but you can also get the Property of Mayhem shirt. They're all $19.99 plus shipping and handling. 2X and up are size up. I got my order in, guys. So I'm hoping to be sporting those on the show. So please, that's another way, not only doing that, clicking on the Fleshlight links, you can go over there. Support the show, guys. We're giving you as many ways as possible to support this show. We have some ideas. We want to do some big stuff here in the coming year and improvement to how we're doing this thing. And we can't do that without getting some money for it. So we have stretched the budget as thin as we can go. So we need to try. So if you dig the podcast, if you dig what's going on here, please check out the t-shirts, check out our sponsors. Click that if you're going to get a tube and all that kind of stuff. So guys, thanks a lot. Thanks to our awesome chat room, live.sorgatronmedia.com around 9 p.m. Eastern time here every Tuesday night. Live.sorgatronmedia.com, and all you new guys that jumped in all night from Justin TV, that's where you can join the chat room, is that URL live as well. That's it, guys. Thanks, Bobby, for checking in. He's in here because of the straw poll that we tried earlier tonight. I kind of like this method for getting people on the show. We're going to be trying to mix it up with some other guests here in the near future, some people wrestling or used to wrestle.
Or you could play it like Family Feud and just have us like the winner of each week stay and go for fast money.
There you go. We'll have fast money at the end of the month, right? Thanks, guys. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait.